win. It's Julian Forte from a Woolmer Star in his first year at UTech, and he looks really good.
Hi guys, welcome to the Sports Latte. I'm your hostess with the mostest, Janae Robinson, and you guys know that we are going to be talking to athletes within the industry and fraternity as it relates to how track and field has impacted them and how they have impacted track and field. Now, it's a pleasure to talk to this person today. They've done many great things in their career so far, and we'll be talking to Julian Forte. The topic for today is amongst adversity, and we'll be hearing his story and how he has overcome certain obstacles and what is his stance right now. So welcome, Julian. Yes, so today we're going to be talking about before we start, let's just have you introduce yourself. Who is Julian? What is he about?
Alright, so my name is Julian Forte. I'm a Jamaican track and field athlete, Olympian, um, fun-loving guy. Uh, I don't know. You get to know more about me as this interview goes on, so make sure you stay tuned.
Okay, great. So a lot of people, we can start with Woolmers. That's where we're going to start. So
Alright,
young Julian.
yeah,
Um,
fresh and green.
what was it like? What was life like at Woolmers even before you had considered starting track and field?
Football. Life at Ulmas was, football, schoolwork, um, bugger, run up and down, the whole, little teenager vibes. So yeah, just I'm basically the same person that I was in high school, more or less. Just a little bit more mature, and obviously I'm not doing certain things. But
Yeah.
in terms of like my headspace and my mentality is kind of been the same from high school days.
Yeah. So what was the spark? So after all of that had stopped, the football, the run up and down. Track
Mm.
and field is a serious thing. So what sparked that move?
Um, it's a funny story. I tell this story a lot. So when I left prep school, I went to Ulmas. I did track and field straight up to grade six. Did football as well straight up to grade six, but they were kind of at different points. Football was much earlier than track and field, so it was easier to just play football and then go to track and field. And then it wasn't as serious, so training for that serious, just going up and down. But when I get to Ulmas now, the training gets a little bit more serious, and actually I tried out for the track team in first farm. Never met the team. So I said, all right, man, let's just play ball. So just focus on ball game. Just play football up until third farm. But when the football season finished, I was kind of at school late every day. One of my bridging them that know me from high school, or know me from prep school, say, yo, since you're there late every day, why not just come do some track? So I say, I don't really want to do it because I say, yo, the training what I see when I do it look too hard, I can't bother with that. I'm say, him go talk to the coach at the time, who was Bert Cameron. So I talked to Mr. Cameron, and Mr. Cameron talked to my father and say, yo, make him come train and thing. Start train that year. Probably that was after the football season, and I probably started training like February. Champs was like March or January.
Yeah.
But champs was like March, and actually champs go win long jump that year. First year training and thing, and from that the coach and now stop the tracks. So we're here now.
Yeah, lots of people don't know that you started with long jump. As a matter of fact, you're a medalist
Yeah,
in class too, and that's
yeah.
it's kind of a big deal because they just know you as a
Gold
sprinter.
medalist.
So we
Double
can talk
gold at
about
Carafta as well.
yeah. So we can talk about
Yeah,
those glory days as a young
as a
youth
jumper.
doing long jump,
Yeah.
and how you transitioned to doing sprints. Like, why did you stop doing long jump and start doing sprints?
Um. So one year in, I think it was my last year, class two, because I always used to do long jump, but I was fast enough that I'd run a leg and relay,
Okay.
4x1 relay. So I was running 4x1 from class 3 days, but I wasn't fast enough to get an individual spot at champs and things. There are always at least two people faster than me. So um, I started getting faster in my last year, class two, and that's when actually got fast enough to run individual events at champs. I ended up doing 100, 200, and long jump. I think I don't remember. So I think that's what I did, and 4x1. So I did a lot of events, but I don't know. I just started getting faster. I realized that I'd run 100 at some development meets, and the times were quick. Run 200, run some quick times, and the coach, them sprint coach, just started say, "Yo, nah, man, look like you can sprint, man." So I started sprint and think it was going good. And class one, first year, I ended up winning the sprint double. So I guess they kind of know what they're doing,
Know what they're doing. And it's funny, because Carifta 2009, you're a triple jump gold medalist. And
Yeah.
it's a lot of technique to do that. And that's a big deal for you to be at such a high spot and then transition from an event that you're doing so well in to sprints.
Well, the way I see it is that I was technically good doing long and triple jump. And as powerful, the more speed I got is the better I got at those events. But eventually it kind of long jump and triple jump not as not as in the limelight as much as sprinting, not as glorious or anything like that. So
even though you're getting the medals.
Yeah, I mean, you're getting the medals, yeah, but
sprints have more.
Yeah, everybody wants to want to know who's the fastest man doing it. I like that kind of competition. So yeah.
So we can also talk about what injuries came about in high school. Did you face any injuries, and how did that affect you?
Yeah, I've been plagued with injuries from high school days. From long jump, I've been having like heel spurs. So I kind of had a bad heel from long jump days.
Yeah.
And triple jump. Knee, your knee kind of start.
Yeah.
Get some like a beat up because I the triple jump and thing. And then when I start sprinting, I noticed I start getting a lot of hamstring injuries. Hamstring kind of too weak, can't manage it, kind of load where I put it under and things, so kind of just give out. And I've been having, continuous hamstring injuries up until I'd say it was bad up until 2013, 14. That's even after I left high school. Fun fact, I actually injured my hamstring in 2010 when I won the double. So yeah.
Injuries come as a part of the sport, but we just have to do. Quick question. So the expectation that followed you after high school, was that a lot of pressure for you, seeing that you had these injuries and also these accolades? So you have best of both worlds in a sense?
No, it wasn't really pressure for me. I liked the spotlight. I felt like it made me perform better and kind of made me feel like I have something to prove to people,
Yeah.
So I liked it. I embraced it, but it just got harder. The more injuries I got,
harder.
It got harder to deal with. But and I never really saw it as pressure. It's just that there's expectation that you put on yourself, and you hold yourself to a certain standard. So um, I'd say that's really
Yeah.
what I felt. It wasn't outside pressure.
So what do you at that point, your headspace? Um, you enjoyed the thrill of being in the limelight, so it never really phased you. But your headspace, all that was projected on you from 2012 onwards. How was your mental space at that time?
I just kind of thought that I had to do more.
Mm.
I thought that I had to do more. I see a lot of areas that I can get better in.
Yeah.
Even though I was good, I just didn't feel like I was good enough. So I just felt like there was more that I had to do. I had to go back and do more. I had to go back and fix this. I had to fix that. There's just so much more work that I needed to do that I didn't realize that I would need to do. Once I got into the professional arena, it's a
Yeah.
it's a much it's a different it's a difference between junior competing as a junior, competing as a pro. It's worlds apart.
Different ball games.
Yeah, man, different ballgame. A big man league now, man.
Yeah. So, when did you start training? Or when did you become pro? Start training with MVP and stuff like that.
Well, I left Walmart in 2011. I was training with MVP ever since that. Um, but I wasn't pro yet. I was still a junior, my first year at MVP, and I went to the World Juniors in 2012. So I'd say I entered the pro scene in 2013.
Yeah.
That's when I started, going to, some of these European meets, and I went to Diamond League, and
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. So I had a previous interview with Kimba, and I had asked her, how did it feel when she joined MVP? The catalog of world-class athletes there was at pressure. How did you feel, since you said that you weren't pro as yet, but you're still amongst the greats? So how was that?
I loved it. As I was looking forward to, I remember one of the first things that I noticed when I went to MVP, and it might sound a little vain, but I noticed the cars in the parking lot. I was like, if these are the cars that's in the parking lot, this is the right place to be, because I looked at it as a kind of a symbol of success.
Yeah.
So I was like, this is the right place to be, and as long as I'm among these people, I will get to a point where I will have success in the sport. So I was excited to train among these people, and I was always kind of trying to measure myself up against the best of them. So I loved it.
And the adrenaline rush must have been amazing, seeing that you feed off of
Yeah,
that.
yeah, coach never really want me to train with them. Like, my first year still. I was still a junior, so I never really want me to size up. But yeah, but it's still like, the atmosphere and everything. I mean, I don't remember all of the meets, so I mean, you're probably right. And I've been injured a lot, so probably right.
Yeah.
Um, I'm not sure which meet you're talking about, but any meet that I miss, due to injuries, always a little frustrating to me, because injuries always, throw me off. I usually like, putting in good work, and getting to the point where, so the injuries is always like a little setback for me, and it kind
Yeah.
of throw me off, and it's like frustrating. But I kind of get used to it and figure out how to stay even keeled and stay calm, and understand that it's a part of it, and that I just need to figure out a way to work with it.
Yeah. So I recognize that you started a YouTube channel in the
Yeah, man.
last year during quarantine, and
Yeah.
I'm glad you did, because people can actually see the journey of an Olympic athlete training, you know, what you go through, due to the fact that COVID-19 kind of just messed up everything. When you got the opportunity to run at the Velocity meet last year, how was it? Because it was a good time. How was it? And your headspace at that time?
I'm just glad I got to compete somewhere last year. Last year was a crazy year. Nobody really knew what was happening, and it was just crazy. So the fact that, you know, our club was able to put on a series of, you know, successful meets so that we can get competition last year was really refreshing for us. So I enjoyed it. I'm glad we kind of get the chance to get that going out, because you have to compete as an athlete.
Yeah, can't just be training.
Yeah.
And your YouTube channel, is that a means of motivation? Because is that a means of motivation?
It's actually it's actually, I want people to kind of get a little behind the scenes of, you know, how we train and what it's like to train with us, and it's also just a means of self-expression, because it's something that I've always liked, creating content. I've always liked creating content, so I just kind of something that it's almost like a hobby, and I love it, so I just can continue doing it.
Okay, that's great, guys. Tune into Julian's YouTube channel. I'll put the link. You know.
Yeah, man. I make sure to subscribe, cause boy, when I'm not subscribing, but my easy up still.
Have you ever? Because athletes always have doubts. Some point in the career, if they're doing this right, whatever the case may be. Have you ever thought about going back to jumps or doing a longer distance?
I've never thought about doing a longer distance. You're crazy.
No, the kid never done.
First of all, but now I run the 4 bills. That's the first thing. So I have actually thought about going back to jumps. But I have bad shins and I have a bad knee.
Yeah.
So jumping, the training for jumping it wouldn't really be feasible. I've always been curious, because I think with the speed that I've developed, that I'd still be able to, I think I'd be able to win. It's like at least a gold medal or 2 doing long jump.
If I'm still barring injuries?
Yeah, I mean barring injuries, because the injury thing already. But I think I would have the all of the right skill sets to do that. Yeah,
that'd be interesting. Even like a little segment in your YouTube channel. Let's see if you still have it.
That's what you want to go bash up myself. We can't take that risk. Maybe post-season. I don't know.
Yeah. And do you feel like the year that has gone, 2020, it had its pros and it had its cons, but do you feel like it was like an eye-opener as to your goals, your objectives, and do you feel fitter?
Actually, 2020 was a really, it taught me a lot about myself. So I in a way, it was kind of a blessing, because it really gave me a lot of time to think and process certain things, and as I said, it taught me a lot about myself. So and I think it was a good season. It's almost like a good season before the season. I don't know if that makes any sense, but it was I think the form is carrying over. The form from 2020 is carrying over into this year, and I like very much so far. So I kind of just give thanks for 2020 in a weird way.
Yeah, I tell people that if you left 2020 and never learned anything, you missed the lesson that it taught. It was kind of like a reflective year. One last question. Now, when you seeing that you train at MVP in the camp, A lot of athletes either have left, some are still there. Have you ever thought about leaving? Or are you comfortable and you know that this is the place for you and to advance your career?
Well, one thing about MVP, and that I don't think anybody can have any kind of, I don't think anybody can disagree with what I'm going to say, is that MVP, if you train at MVP, you're going to see, positive results. Yes. You're going to get good results. You're going to definitely push yourself to the limit and kind of get the most out of yourself as physically possible.
Yeah.
Now, there are other things that I can't speak to about anybody in particular, but there are other things and other reasons why athletes leave. It's not necessarily about the conditioning. So, I mean, I think once I can continue to see, good results, and I like where I'm at right now, I don't really think about leaving. Thinking about leaving while you're there don't really make any sense to me. It's either you're going to leave or you're not going to leave. So, right now I'm here and I'm doing what I need to do.
Okay, I know I said last question, but seeing that the topic is amongst adversity, do you feel like you have proven that you have defeated certain odds, and what is your mindset in continuing to defeat odds in terms of injuries, naysayers, anything that you consider a distraction, right? Do you feel like you're still in that place to have, like, what you'd call it, erase what everybody else has to say and go for your goal?
Yeah, I've always been in that place. I've just been learning more and more how to do what it is that I want to do. So every year is kind of a learning process, and every failure is a lesson. So I've been learning a lot and trying to see how best I can achieve my goal. Okay,
so thank you, Julian, for talking to us about how you how you overcame a lot of obstacles in your career so far. It's not finished yet. Guys, stay tuned. Tune into his YouTube channel. Anytime you see him on the track, say, "Go, Julie," You heard it here first. I gave you permission. And we expect and we hope to see great things from you. This year is an Olympic year, and I know there's a lot of competition all over the place, but we know you can do it, and we're happy and we're proud of you. So just continue to train.
Without a doubt, definitely.
All right. Hey guys, welcome to our bonus feature. I'm your hostess with the mostest, Janae, and we have Julian Forte here today. So now we'll be doing a little game called What's the First Thing That Comes to Your Mind? I know you guys have seen this before, I think with Cherokee. And let's see what Julian has in store. What is the first thing that's on his mind when he hears these words? So let's go. Ready?
Let's go.
Track and field.
Me.
Julian.
Yes. I should. Sorry. I don't know. Good looking.
Julian, come on.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, 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 no.
I want to talk to serial person. Yeah.
Serious?
Serious.
Family.
Glove.
Woolmers.
I don't know, fun.
Champs.
Emotion.
Let's see. MVP.
unique. Let's use that word.
As in the name says, it's most valuable player, unique.
Yeah.
Olympics.
Japan.
Julian.
You said
100.
Olympics too. Podium.
Adversity.
Stepping stones.
And stronger.
Me.
Love to hear it. So guys, that's a little segment with Julian. I hope you guys learned a lot, learned the lessons that you can do it, you can overcome adversity as long as you put your mind to it. Julian has had injuries over the years and has still done great things, and we hope to see great things this year. So thank you for joining the Sports Latte today. We'd like to thank our sponsor, Zenful Living. You can see them on Instagram at Zenful Living, zen.by.aves, and Zen with Candles. We also like to thank Frankie Music Studios, which is located at 111B Mollines Road. You can go there for all your studio and recording needs. And also like to thank another sponsor, Automotive Car Care, which is located at 38 Slipe Road, right by the Petcom gas station. So thank you guys for tuning in. It was a pleasure to have you today, and see you next time. Bye.